Hello, my name is Bob and I'm a tutor at Raritan Valley Community College's Academic Support Center. And this is session 4 on GeoGebra, and this is the 5th module on parabolas. In this module, we're going to enter the equation of a parabola in the input box, and we're going to enter it both in y equals form and f of x form. We're going to find the roots of the parabola, and we're going to do that two different ways. We're going to use the root command, and we're going to use the intersect command. We're going to find the y-intercept of the parabola using the intersect command. And we're going to find the vertex of the parabola, again, two different ways, using the vertex command and the extremum command. Finally, we're going to find a point on the parabola, and we're going to demonstrate the parabola command. So let's get started. Now the first thing I want to do is launch GeoGebra. So I'm going to go over to my GeoGebra icon and double click on it. We're using the web start version of GeoGebra, so we're going to get the most current version of GeoGebra loaded up. And now let's put in the equation y equals x squared minus 6x plus 5. So we're going to type in y equals x, and there is a squared icon. We're going to hit this little drop down box, and the second arrow has a squared on it. For those of you who have real tiny eyes, we can use the up arrow command. We'll see that in a minute. Minus 6x plus 5. Hit enter, and there's our parabola. Now the first thing we want to do is find the roots of the parabola. Now, there are two functions that we can use here. There's a root function, but it turns out that the root function only works if we have the equation in f of x form, and we've got y equals form. So we're going to use the other way on this equation. We're going to do the intersect version. So we're going to go up here to our point tool. We're going to hit the little drop down arrow on the point tool, and we're going to go for the intersection of two objects. And we're going to click on the parabola, and then we're going to go down and click on the x-axis, and there you can see the roots of our parabola. They're the point 5, 0, and they're the point 1, 0. And those are the intersection points. So the next thing we want to do is find the vertex of the parabola. So I'm going to want to see the vertex first. Let's zoom out a little bit. I'm going to use the scroll wheel on the mouse and scroll it forward. Now I can see the vertex. And I'm going to use the vertex command. So I'm going to type the word vertex, V-E-R, and I can see the vertex show up there. I want to be right in between those two square brackets. And I'm going to put C in there because that's our equation. I'm going to hit enter. And you can see that the point C came on at the vertex of the parabola, and the vertex is the point 3, comma, minus 4. The next thing I want to do is I want to find the y-intercept of the parabola. So I can do that using the intersect command. I could use the intersect tool, but this time I'm just going to type intersect, N-T-E-R, and again I want to be right between those square brackets, and I want the intersection of the equation C with the y-axis, and again there's a keyword for y-axis. It's little y, no space, capital A-X-I-S. Hit enter, and we can see that the y-intercept is this point D, which is 0, 5. So now we've found all the key points on this particular parabola. Let's try a new window, and we'll do this now in f of x format. So I'm going to go up here to File. I'm going to hit New. I don't want to save this file. And let's do the same exact parabola, but this time we're going to use the f of x format. So I have f, opening parentheses, small x, closing parentheses, equals, space, x. This time I'm going to use the up arrow for squaring it, up arrow 2, space, minus 6x plus 5. Enter. And there's our parabola back. And now let's find those same points. In this case, now we can use the root function. So we're going to go over here to our command bar, scroll down to root, and there's root. And we want to find the root of f parentheses x parentheses right in between those square brackets. Hit enter, and there are two roots right back, 5, 0 and 1, 0. And now let's find the vertex. And in this case, the vertex command does not work with the f of x format, so we're going to use the extremum command. So capital E-X-T-R, extremum of parentheses right in between those square brackets, f parentheses x parentheses, enter. And there you can see our vertex is 3 minus 4. The intersect command will work, so I'm going to use the intersect tool and click on my parabola and on the y-axis, and you can see the intersection is point D, which is 0, 5, so there are our critical points. But there's one more neat thing we can do when we're in f of x format. Suppose we wanted to find the point on the parabola right here where, let's do this one here, where x equals 2. Well, let's type, we're going to type the point P equals, parentheses, and we said x equals 2, comma, and now we do f of 2, and closing parentheses, and hit enter, and we can see that this point P is the 2.2 comma minus 3. We can find any point on the parabola by using that particular construct. I wanted to demonstrate that there is a parabola command, but it gives you some funny things. So let's go up and get another new window. File, new window. In this case we have a new window. I'm going to put it right over top of the old window. And the parabola command, if you're familiar with parabolas, parabolas are defined as an equal distance between a point and a line. So let's go out here. Let's put some grid lines on here for a second. Turn the grid lines on. We're going to create a point. Let's create the point 4, 4. And let's create a line, and we'll have it run from 0, 2 to 2, 0. And now let's go in and use the parabola command. And the parabola command is way down here. And we use point A, capital A, and our line equation is small a, and hit enter. And you can see it connected a parabola with equidistance between those. And notice it's a parabola that is not either up or down or left or right. It kind of fits inside those axes. So the parabola tool command is not really used in early algebra, but much later in conic sections when we look at calculus. So that finishes up our little module on parabolas. Let's just quick review. We entered the equation of the parabola in the input box using the f of x command and the y equals command. Alright, we found the roots of the parabola, and again for f of x we used the root command, and for the y equals we used the intersect command. We found the y-intercept on both parabolas using the intersect command and intersecting the parabola with the y-axis. We found the vertex of the parabola using the vertex command for the y equals format and using the extremum command for the f of x format. In the f of x format we also found a point on the parabola, and we demonstrated the parabola command for people in higher forms of mathematics. So this finishes Module 5.